Yeah. This is the Legacy League. Tell me what will your legacy be? Yeah.
All right, we've made it. The summer season is here, 2025. Legacy Leagues, Massachusetts. We are back. As usual, I am your host, Cade Ryan. Got some new faces in the building today, though. We're joined by Jack and my boy Will, and we'll be breaking down this week's games. Also, something new, we got a sponsor for this season's podcast, and that sponsor is the 110 Grill. They've got a bunch of restaurants around Mass. One's super close over in Rentham, probably like 15 minutes from the place we play. Honestly, the food is amazing. It's not even like me just saying that because they're our sponsor. I used to go to it before they were our sponsor. So it's really cool that they're helping us out and we're helping them out. And that's just a little relationship we like to grow here. So everyone check them out. Yeah, but let's just cut right to it. Let's get right into the games. We're going to get into our first matchup, which is our closest matchup, a 7-point difference between Run It Up and B2A. All right, Run It Up takes this one 89-82. Run It Up and B2A both returning teams with some new faces. So familiar team, new face. Leading the way for Run It Up was, okay, I'm going to butcher everyone's names week one. Pull me aside next week and just correct me and tell me how to pronounce your name. I am sorry, I'm not great with these names. So Takeem Gomez, I'm sorry. He led the way for Run It Up alongside, Sean Yard, a familiar face, Offensive Player of the Year in the winter. Both led their team with 22 points. And then a new face for a Run Up, Marcus Collins, 21 points, 12 rebounds for him, all around solid game, putting that difference down the line. I remember seeing him big time down low in that paint. And then B2A, both leading scorers for that team are new faces for that team. We got Amande Weaver, 22 points, and Shai Hicks, 21 points. And then we got familiar faces, Anthony Cabrera and Daraj Devance doing their thing. Daraj doing what he does, 4 blocks. Last season's Defensive Player of the Year, kind of, doing what we expected to see from him. Run It Up had very, very tough games last year when it came to the fourth quarter. They just could not finish games, and Trent last podcast used to always call him out for it. Finish games. And I remember Sean Yard during that fourth quarter saying like, yeah, let's finish this. And they did it. They finally finished the fourth quarter and they beat a really good team in B2A. Will, I'll go right to you. Kind of talk about Run It Up. What did you see from them? Who kind of stood out to you?
Yeah, I think looking right at it, Sean Yard was 4 3-point made. Definitely helps them out. Only shooting 21% from the field as a team. Definitely doesn't seem like it'll cut it. And with the league low, or tying the league low for the week on only 5 3 points made, I think it's makes it even more impressive to still put up 89 points and carry on with the win.
No, yeah, totally. I mean, Sean Yard, uh, I'm pretty sure, I'm almost 100% sure he won the 3-point contest. So we've known he's a shooter, Offensive Player of the Year. He can kind of get a bucket wherever, mid-range, layup. Hey, he dunked a few times in this game too. We don't see that too often from him, but he did. So got to give him credit for that. But even the new faces, Marcus Collins was kind of a beast down low. He wasn't shooting much, but he was just, he got blocked a few times by Daraj, but there's only so much you can do when you just keep getting attacked in the paint. Like, I remember Daraj blocked him, but Collins got the rebound right back and put it right back up. And Takeem Gomes, I mean, he was just running the floor all night, fast break after fast break, and B2A kind of let that lead slip away from him. And just those fast breaks, blocks into passes and to, layups. It's just what kind of was the difference here. B2A was missing some of their guys though. They only had one sub. I know Gio Neville played last season. He's going to be returning hopefully soon. He missed the end of last year and then he missed the first game, but Daraj told me he would be back. So I'm excited to see that. He led that team in scoring last season. So I think B2A is definitely going to be a problem. And if we see this matchup again, it's going to be maybe a different outcome, maybe a closer one. But yeah, run-ups fixed. Seems like they fixed up their roster problems, and yeah, we'll go on right to our next game. That game being Team ASAP versus the Squad. And Team ASAP took this one 91-83 over the Squad. Familiar faces to Legacy Leagues, not familiar to Massachusetts. Kareem Cooper led the way with 26 points, followed with 24 from Joe Secator. Kareem Cooper is a champion from Rhode Island, and Joe Secator is a two-time MVP champion from Rhode Island. So Rhode Island's trying to make their presence known here in Massachusetts, but I think there's some Massachusetts guys that are gonna kind of take a stand on that and say this is our league. So we'll see what happens and what unfolds for the rest of the season. For the Squad, we got a new guy, Musa Diakite. I'm sorry, man. That's a difficult last name for me. We got him leading the way, 28 points, and then followed by Jay Sean Edwards, familiar face, summer All-Star last summer, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Jay Sean and Keandre Henderson are the only two returning guys that have played in Massachusetts before, but the Squad is an entirely new team that they've kind of brought up, and they're going to try to make their presence known here in Massachusetts. New faces all over Team ASAP, but returning we got Shaq Audrey and Anthony Lyons, and they kind of don't even need to worry this season. I know last year they had struggles from offense. Their team, RI Wave, was supposed to be one of the more dominant teams, but they had a disappointing season. But I think RI is making a statement here with Joe Secator coming over, Kareem Cooper. They got championship experience and MVP experience on their team. So it's going to be interesting to see how that team kind of plays alongside all the other Massachusetts teams. Jack, I'll go over to you. Team ASAP, talk about I know this was a close game, but the fourth quarter they kind of pulled away. Talk about what that team did well in that fourth quarter.
Well, their 3-point shooting was great, 13 of 29 in the entire game. And, they were up big early, up double digits, and the Squad came back and took a lead briefly. And I thought Team ASAP's response in the fourth quarter was just a championship level response. And in the first game, that's what you want to see. And Joe Secator, coming from Rhode Island, being a great leader, 24 points. And Shaq Ardrey also had a big game. He went 6 for 12 from 3. So that's a big 3-point boost that you want.
Yeah, I know all these guys are also playing together in Rhode Island on the same team now too, which is I don't think Joe Secator's been with these guys. I think he's been on a few other teams, but not with these guys. So it's kind of cool to see these guys grow together, and we're going to be able to see them grow further along in the season. But this is week 1, so we're going to see every team grow. The Squad, obviously, not the outcome they wanted, but to stay with a team that has this much experience and this much, I don't know, skill as ASAP does, you got a guy with multiple MVPs on that team. So, yeah, being able to stay with that team on these low rims that they've never played on before, besides Jay Sean and Keandre, it's definitely cool to see that, new guys can hang around with these veterans. But yeah, RI's coming into Massachusetts trying to take it over, but I think there's some teams from Mass that are gonna try to stand in their way. Speaking of, we got our next game, A1 versus FTG. A1 was eating good tonight, and you know who else can be eating good? You guys. If you check out the 110 Grill, I don't want to get annoying with this, but I swear this is a sponsorship made in heaven. This restaurant is the real deal. 15 minutes away before the game, go get a meal. Come to the game all prepared. You guys will be winning with their food. I swear, guys. All right. A1 took this one 98-86 over FTG. Both returning teams, both with returning players, but both with new players. I swear, every team, we don't have a single team that is all the same. Everybody switched up this season. Speaking of switching up, I am on A1. I know I got a little flack from that from multiple players, but join the championships, they're probably whispering I'm Kevin Durant, this and that, but I'm not. Let's not compare me to Kevin Durant, but yeah, I did join the championship team over this summer, but we also added some other guys we should be taking a look at. Ale Ravello scoring 24 points. Hendel L'Oreal. I gotta ask these guys how to pronounce their names. I feel so bad. They're on my team. Scoring 22 points. Hendel from the Washed Up Boys over in Rhode Island. So he's coming over from Rhode Island to make a statement in Massachusetts. I think he was Rookie of the Year, and then they lost in the finals to a great Lob City team that has maybe 20 championships by now. So that's not really a big loss. They're losing to the guys that always win. So Hendel coming over from Rhode Island, doing what he does, scoring at will. Really, he runs the court perfectly. He matches this A1 flow amazing. And A1 led by a very familiar face, our most recent MVP of Massachusetts, Dante Rivera, 29 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 steals. I mean, I know you guys are new to Dante, but this is a Dante game. He does everything on the court, and he is always sprinting at all times. He's quick. That is what he does. FTG looked a lot different with their roster. I think 3 guys returning: Ethan Austin, Terrence Gallo, and Derek Stone. Ethan Austin, I think he was Offensive Player of the Year last summer. 2-time All-Star. He's been around Legacy Leagues for a while, so we can call him a veteran. He's been at least 3 seasons. He followed up with 19 points, shot 8 for 12. He's usually getting 30. I know you guys don't know these players yet, but Ethan's usually dropping 30. They were led by Denzel Lyles, 27 points. And he was a problem out there. He was tall. He's taller than these guys, but he's moving like a guard. He's really quick off the dribble. And when he jumps, dude. It's hard to get up there with him. So those 2 guys led the way for their team. Obviously not the outcome they wanted to start the season, but we'll see how that team unfolds. A lot of new guys. I know their team was, we called them a super team last season, but it didn't really work out because I feel like there's just too much. We had guys that were averaging 20, averaging like 8 on FTG last season. So it's kind of interesting to see what these new guys and what their roles are going to be on this team that may not have as much talent as they did in the previous seasons. But that sometimes, you see super teams crumble all the time in the NBA, and you see teams that just have fleshed out benches like the Celtics winning championships. But yeah, A1 returning champs, so they are here to make a statement. They want their presence to be felt. They want to be feared, and they want to, do what they do best, and that's win. So Ethan working with a new team, Dante leading his team. Will, I'll go back to you here. Kind of just talk about the game. You don't got to pick a specific team. You can if you want, but just talk about some players, something here and there. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, you can see that FTG started to fizzle out towards the end, only with 15 in the third, followed by 20 in the fourth. Well, A1 outscored them in those 2 by 12 plus points. But the other big thing that I see here is only 6 assists for FTG. Well, Dante Rivera on A1 had 8 alone, and the whole team had 21 in total. I feel like that's got to play a major role in just sharing the ball and making sure everyone gets good shots up. Like A1 had 3 guys over 20, well, FTG only had 1. So I feel like maybe spreading out the passes a little bit more, getting other guys open could lead FTG a little further.
No, yeah, the passing for A1. I mean, my team last season was 0-8, and we weren't the most coordinated team. We would be lucky if we got 10 assists a night. So playing with a team that passes so much is like almost like geez, what do I do out there? Like, ball's coming my way, ball's going that way, that way, that way. It's so much more fast paced than a team like mine was last season that we kind of just slowed down. Just have fun out there was our motto. So and this motto is win before anything. So it's definitely a turnaround for me. I'm gonna have to adapt to that. But winning feels good, dude. This is my first win in the last 2 seasons, so I'll take that. So if anybody's mad at me joining a new team, you gotta at least be happy for me that I got to win. Come on, let me have this. But no, thing to talk about. Darwin Perea didn't shoot well tonight, but you guys weren't here last season. He shot over 50% from three. Dude, every time he shot, it would be a shock if it didn't go in. I know tonight, you guys didn't get introduced to the Darwin Perea, we all know, but he is a problem, and I'm sure that shooting slump will not follow into next week or hell any week. He is a problem, and yeah, he's going to be putting up threes all season, and people are going to have to guard up. We were missing two of our bigger guys for A1 too, so um, we won't need to see me getting dunked on too much when we get bigger guys coming in and doing that job for me. So yeah, FTG, returning guys, new guys, kind of see how that team fleshes out. A1, a lot more returning guys, but yeah, definitely two top teams right here battling out. So I think that wraps it up for that game. We'll go into our last game, which is Reapers versus Top Dogs. And Reapers were led by a familiar face here in Massachusetts, Kevin Views, former MVP of the last summer. He led with 33 points. And then a new face for Reapers. Reapers is almost, they can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Yala Smith is their only new guy. And he led the way with 32 points. And if people know the history of Massachusetts Legacy Leagues, the Reapers have made it to the finals twice and have lost twice. Not to rub that in their face, but is this the player they've been looking for? Kevin Hughes has always needed that second option that's averages 20 plus a night, and Yala Smith out there looked unstoppable, so he could be that guy. I don't want to make any predictions too soon on that team, but especially because I'm on another team. That's the early predictions are for you guys to make. I don't want to be, proved wrong on the court. It's a lot less worse, or a lot more worse when that happens. So that's for you guys to do. But yeah, maybe a little Reaper's revenge tour here. Top Dogs, a bit of a free agent team, kind of. I know this is Joey's team. I think two of those guys were on my team last season, Kyle Trockman and Nick Bokelman, and then a few returning guys. Freddie Milligan was an all-star last summer. He's returning again, hopping on this team. Then Joey and Jared were on a team last season. So it's kind of a mesh of other guys coming back for this season, other guys coming from other teams, and then some new faces like leading the way, John later, 16.7 rebounds. I've actually played pickup with that guy, and he, one, great guy. Two, his pull-up midi is so hard to guard. He has like a nice floater, and he did it like I rewatched their game. I think 4 or 5 times. It's just such a hard thing to guard, and it was kind of cool to see that coming over from 10 foot into this mini hoop league. And Freddie Milligan, all-star in the previous years, 15 points as well. He was shooting pretty well. Yeah, just a Reapers team that's so experienced and coming off a championship loss. It's a tough first week for a team that's kind of a mesh of a bunch of guys who don't know each other yet and don't really play with each other yet. But we're always rooting for the underdogs here on that podcast. So a free agent team kind of figuring out we want to see do good, and hopefully they figure out some fixes later on, figure out who their scorer is, what their game plan is going on defense. Yala was so tall compared to that team though. I felt like this was Yala's game. If Yala wasn't there, this might have been a much closer game. I think so. Kevin Views doing what Kevin Views does, but he usually needs a second guy, and Yala was that guy this time. And it's usually not Yala. He's never there before, so it's definitely cool to see. Everyone on Reapers though doing their thing. They're known for their defense, and it definitely showed. Stop putting in the stops and into fast breaks. Doing what they do. Jack, we'll talk about you, or you talk about what top dogs got to look at later on in the season. What do they got to fix? What do they got to grow upon?
So I thought their 3-point shooting was really good, 10 of 24 in the game. Freddie Milligan and Zach Green each hitting 3, so I think that's a positive to look at. Defense in the post, obviously, like you said, they're a lot smaller than the Reapers, so maybe a tough test early, but it's got to improve if they want to compete in any of these games. But they got something to build off of. They had a really good first quarter defensively, held the Reapers to 5 points, but then it was just the Yala Smith show after that.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely. The Yala Smith show is a good saying there. Yeah, top dogs have multiple 3-point competition winners and just participants. Nick Volkman, I know he shot I think 2 for 4 from three. Um, he's been in the 3-point competition his 2 years. He's been in or his 2 seasons he's been in the league. He's always at the top of the scoring when it comes from 3-point. Um, Joey has won a 3-point competition, and Jared I think's won one here in Massachusetts, and they weren't even the guys hitting the most threes on the team. So this team is definitely the 3-point team to look out for, and I think they can just when it comes to smaller teams, the way they win games is 3 points. So this team may be a free agent kind of mix up team, but to have this many good shooters on one team is scary. And if there's a night when two of them are hot, that's a completely different game. And teams are gonna have to watch out for that 3-point specialist team they got here. It's definitely gonna be interesting to see how that team works out. Reapers, I want to see how Yala Smith turns out. For the Reapers, is this the guy they need to get them that championship? We will see. They've lost twice, undefeated their first season. I think they only lost one last. So so two of their losses aren't from the regular season, it's from the finals, and one loss is from regular season. That is crazy and unfortunate. But Reapers, let's do it. Let's see something from you guys this season. Let's see your little revenge tour. Yeah, that pretty much wraps up our games we've got from this week. We'll take a quick dive into next week's games, but first, I'm gonna put our two new interns on the spot, and I'm gonna ask for their early predictions of who they think's gonna be the champion, and give me a little reason why for that. But yeah, I'll go to Will. Will, go first.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's hard to look past A1 as a team. I've already brought up, but the 21 assists, that just means it means so much more because they have chemistry, they have shooters. You said that Darwin Perea is one of their best players, but he had the fourth most points. So having three guys that could put up 20 without one of your best players doing it is not a sight that you'd want to see as another team. And I think they were just really buzzing around the court the whole time. They didn't um, put their foot off the gas the entire game. It was a tough game that they played, and they still put up 98 points, league high this week. Just super impressive performance out of them.
Ah, that's a good pick. Not because I'm on the team, but returning champs, it's hard to go against them. But if I did have to pick guys, spoiler, I think I'm going with A1 this season. But Jack, I'm sorry to do this to you, but if you had A1, you got to go with someone new now. You can't just stick with A1. Will did the right choice and picked him first, get on my good side, but you go with someone else. If you were gonna pick A1, pick who the toughest opponent would be for them.
I was actually going to go with the Reapers. I was thinking just so close the last 2 seasons, and they had Yala Smith, who went 15 for 18 in their first game and just looked absolutely unstoppable in the post. He barely even had to jump to dunk, and the Kevin Views Yala Smith duo is pretty tough to beat. Although A1 should give him a good fight.
No, yeah, I mean that's honestly the clear second choice I would have picked. Team ASAP though, they've got some champions, and MVPs, so I think that's a team to look out for too. But no, honestly, all these teams are good. Run It Up got a lot better. B2A has some new guys. We'll see how they do with the old guys returning next week. The squad, top dogs, any of these teams can win on any given night. So this is definitely the best competition we've seen in Massachusetts. This is the third season. This is definitely the toughest season I've seen. I've been here for all of them. So yeah, we'll take a quick look into next week's games. We got game one. We got Top Dogs versus Team ASAP. That'll be a good one. FTG versus Reapers, two returning teams from Massachusetts. So that'll be cool to see. The Squad versus B2A. And then we got A1 versus Run It Up. A lot of good games. It's definitely going to be interesting. I'm just quickly looking out all the games right here. FTG Reapers. I mean, FTG is FTG. They've had some battles with the Reapers. Um, I'm pretty sure one of their best guys for the Reapers. I don't think is on the team. He used to guard Ethan Austin. And he did a pretty good job. So it's gonna be cool to see Ethan Austin maybe get to be a little more free against the Reapers. See what Yala Smith's gonna say about that though. Um, bunch of returning guys all across the season, a bunch of new guys. We got a lot of exciting weeks ahead of us. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. I hope anybody listening is excited. Shout out my boys Jack, my boy Will. Thank you for joining me. Thank you anybody for listening. That wraps up our first week of the Massachusetts Legacy Leagues here in the summer. So thank you. See y'all later.